happened to you? You just died? You just plain died, like nothing stabbed you, bludgeoned you, poisoned you, burned you, crushed you, blew you to bits, turned you to stone, but you're back here. Must have been those natural causes mortals talk about.
Developer Supergiant has hit the ball out of the park with its newest game, Hades. The term "one more go" takes on a whole new meaning with its stellar gameplay loop that'll keep you playing way past your bedtime. This game review is brought to you by associate producer DarkJco. Your generosity is most appreciated. The gameplay splits between two activities, running through the gauntlet of the underworld and doing various tasks at the House of Hades. As you run through these procedurally generated dungeons, you'll gain a reward after completing each encounter. The most important of these rewards, boons. These messages sent down from Olympus offer different gameplay advantages and buffs depending on which Greek god is helping you. Each of the gods play differently and can synergize very well with each other. You get to choose which boon you want from them, so make sure you choose an ability that complements your playstyle. Speaking of playstyle, the game offers an array of weapons to choose from, each with their own unique moveset. All of them have advantages and disadvantages and greatly change how you approach enemies during your runs. They all feel pretty balanced too, with no clear best choice. That said, there probably is a best choice for how you like to play the game. Hades really emphasizes player choice. Choose what weapon you're wielding, what gods to gain favor with, which gods to piss off, which boons to take, what characters to invest in, what upgrades to take advantage of. None of this by any means reinvents gameplay as we know it, but it does take an established formula and cranks each aspect of it to its peak potential. Enemies are unique to the level of underworld they're on. New area, new enemies. There's enough variety to sometimes catch you off guard, but for the most part, each level of enemy keeps a certain theme about them, so you can slowly learn and develop better strategies against them, because you're going to be going through the same encounter a lot. The best part about the Gauntlet of Hades is that it respects the player's time. Every time you die in the underworld, you return to the House of Hades. You lose your boons and buffs, but you keep the special resources you gained while escaping. This allows you to upgrade yourself at the Magic Mirror and improve your relationships with the characters, granting you more options about how you want to tackle the dungeon. Thinking that running through the same dungeon is gonna get stale? You know, I thought the same thing, but I was very wrong. As you progress through the game, the underworld changes, the boss fights adapt and switch tactics. You even meet many side characters throughout your journey that have evolving stories. I've ran through the underworld at least 50 times now, and each outing still feels fresh. Even when I'm not playing the game, the back of my mind keeps telling me, just one more go. The gameplay loop has been perfected here, offering me satisfying rewards around every corner, but enough of them just out of reach to keep me playing. Even after dozens of hours in, new mechanics keep popping up. It's a constant refresher that keeps Hades from ever feeling stale. And with the gameplay always being fluid and responsive, I've never had a bad session. Not that it's a huge gripe, but I did find it mildly frustrating being very slowly spoon-fed the main story. I understand there's a reason behind it, but I did find myself yearning for more answers as I played through the game, which ultimately kept me playing longer than I'd realized. While the hack and slash gameplay is polished and perfected, the narrative and writing stands firmly with it as the true masterpiece. Most video games don't get me interested in any of the characters. Hades makes me like all of them, from the Gorgon head secretary to the adorable three-headed dog. Each of them has their own personality and their own stories.
Your Highness, I was just making the rounds again.
Depending on who you're friendly with, different dialogues will open up, with every conversation being unique, short, and well written. Each return to the House of Hades felt rewarding, making me want to do the loop all over again.
Seemed only fair in the grand scheme of things. He slew his own parents at some point, right?
I can honestly say there is more writing in this game than most. Hardly ever is there a repeat line, and Zag always has a witty remark for every moment. The developers really took their time with the dialogue, and it shows. Where most games struggle to get the player connected, Hades gets you hooked easily. This attention to detail and writing is really what keeps the gameplay loop going. It takes your standard roguelike and it turns it into a rich and engaging setting. Supergiant is known for making gorgeous art styles, and Hades is no exception. The game's beautifully designed underworld is vibrant, detailed, and mysterious. Its graphic novel-like approach makes each character visibly unique and interesting. Everyone and everything has an epic feeling to it, which is good because we're dealing with gods and legends.
I'll see if I can stir things up a bit to cover your advance.
The game's attention to art alone helps it stand out from its pixelated roguelike competition. With everything colorful and well-defined, it's always easy knowing where your character is on the map. Nothing ever looks out of place or muddy, and the world does feel ageless and set firmly in Greek mythology. With the combat and narrative keeping the game interesting, the art is definitely the glue that keeps it all together. The music is fast, fun, and can even be emotional at times. It didn't necessarily blow me away, but nothing ever felt out of place. It's definitely above average and stylish enough to set itself apart from its competitors. The boss tracks are all especially good, keeping me pumped from start to finish. The sound effects, on the other hand, are incredibly top-notch. The audio was responsive, whether I'm dashing across the map, swinging my sword, or getting caught in a spike trap. Which I'll add, this is the first game I've played in a long time that makes traps feel necessary and a core part of the experience. Because of the fast-paced nature of the game, traps force you to be a little more strategic with your moves rather than just smashing through every enemy you see. Hades is an astounding game. Not only does it reach perfection, but it takes a step further, creating one of the most fun and memorable experiences I've had in a while. Its polished combat and impactful story make a crisp and cohesive package that easily puts it in Game of the Year status, getting a 10 out of 10. Hades will more than likely keep you occupied for a good 60 plus hours, maybe even more. And the best part, it's not even $60. I hope you enjoyed the review, and remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Wouldn't want to miss the Cyberpunk Christmas review now, would you? Until next time, this is Game Ghost. Happy gaming.